Hi, welcome to RCR Horsemanship. I'm Corey Furlong, and today I'm going to teach you how to start mark training. So before we get started, let's just talk about what is mark training. It comes from old Hollywood training, teaching an actor to get onto a mark. And we can use this for a lot of different things. I love it for liberty. This gets my horses to run across the arena to me. It gets actually a lot of different things, but the biggest thing that I use it for in my daily training is teaching my horse to just stand still and stand calm. It can be really helpful for horses that aren't good at standing tied, aren't good at standing for the farrier, or maybe they're not great for saddling. The mark is actually a really great tool. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the tools that we need. I like to have a rope halter and a 12-foot lead. This is what I use for all of my groundwork. So if you use something different for your groundwork, totally fine, use that. I like to have a carriage whip. You can use a dressage whip or a lunge whip. I find that the lunge whip tends to be a little bit too big, and the carriage whip maybe doesn't have quite enough energy. Or I'm sorry, the dressage whip doesn't have quite enough energy in it. And then the next thing I'm going to need is my mark. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I have here. This is about a 20-inch by 20-inch, just square. It's made out of 2x4s and 2x6s, super simple to make. I do want my horse to be going up on a raised platform, so you can see there's a little bit, just a couple inches raised there. I've also taught this with pedestals. I think pedestals are great, but this is a little bit easier to work with, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this. So the first step of mark training is just getting our horse comfortable getting up on the mark. I'm going to do this just like I would any other obstacle. I'm just going to ask my horse to drive right up onto it. Now, Utah really likes this kind of stuff. He loves climbing up on things. So this has been actually pretty simple to get him up on. He has only had one other mark training session. So this, he took to it really well. So I decided to go ahead and film a video before I did too much more. If I'm struggling to get my horse on this mark, the biggest thing I want to do, let's say he's circling around it, is I want to just keep myself between the horse and the mark until they decide to just step up onto it. Very good. Now, I don't use any treats when I do mark training. I want them to start seeking out a place of rest because I can start teaching them to kind of go up to a mark of any kind. That could even be a banner that's on the fence or really anything that they're scared of. I can teach them to find relaxation at that spot. And so I find that using positive reinforcement gets them to think a little bit too much about the reward and not enough about the relaxation. I value him relaxing and that big deep breath when he got on the mark far more than him seeking out a cookie. Good boy. Now notice that every time I do this, I'm going to back him off of it. I don't want him walking over it because it's meant to be a place that he stops and pauses. Good boy. Good. So only the front feet go on the mark. Good boy. If I want to teach him to put back feet on it, I actually prefer to use a pedestal and not use the mark because I don't want him thinking too much about that with mark training specifically. Good boy. And once my horse gets on the mark, we're going to go ahead and start our next step. The next step is I want to be able to send my horse up to the mark. So I'm going to put the mark up against the rail here so that he can't walk away from it. So the first time that I asked him to get on the mark, I was just leading him onto it, just getting him comfortable. But I want him to find it now and be able to be sent. If he misses it, he's just going to go back around. No big deal. Good. He missed it. We're going to try again. So notice that I am kind of dropping my energy and relaxing as he gets up to it. Try again. Ooh, good. Settle down. There we go. That's better. Ooh, nice. Oh, step back up there. Good. I'm going to make sure that he has both feet on. And I want him to stand relaxed. Once he's standing relaxed, I'm just going to let him rest here for a minute. Hey, good. Good. And then I'm going to back him off. Send him back on. Ooh. Good. Nope. So add a little bit of pressure as he hops off, looking for that place of relaxation on the mark. Good. So now there's nothing stopping him from going off of it, just his desire to be there. Good. And I'm going to repeat that a few times, and then I will go off to the other side. All right, we got it pretty good on the other side. We're going to ask him this direction. Whoop. Add a little bit of pressure. Slow it down. Good. It's really important to get this out of both eyes because horses don't really associate what they've learned on one side to the other side. So I want him to see it out of both eyes, see the cues out of both eyes. It's important with pretty much anything we teach our horses. Good boy, that's much better. Back him off. Send him on. Good. Now, in the first day of teaching mark training, this might be all I get to, and that's totally fine. I really like if I can come and go from this. So I might do a 15-minute session, put him away for a little bit, work another horse, and then come back out, do another 15-minute session. That way he doesn't get too exhausted by this idea. But once he does a pretty good job of being sent onto the mark, then we can move on to step 3. All right, next step, we're gonna play a little game of King of the Mountain. And this is where we're really gonna build their desire to wanna be on this mark. And then we're gonna be able to bring this into liberty. So if I'm on the mark, he does not get to be on it. And he actually is gonna have to work around me while I'm on the mark. So I'm gonna get him lunging in a nice little circle. It's a good moment that I can work on some softness, some engagement from him. Good. Moving his rib cage out a little bit. There we go. And then when I hop off the mark, I want him to step on it. Good. Good. Very nice. Good boy. So this is really building the desire that the work's out there and he really wants to get onto this mark. Good. And again, I'm going to back him off and send him off. You're fine. There you go. Sending a little bit of a bigger circle there. Creating a little bit of distance can be good. Keeps his attention, not just when he's close in, but when he's a little further away. I'm gonna try it when he's over here now. I'm gonna hop off. And if I need to, I can just guide him on there. Good boy. And again, we're gonna make sure we do this both directions, and you can also add a direction change in your circles. Good. Give him a little rest. Step him off. Very nice. Get myself set up. Send him off. I want him to really start to look for that moment that I hop off. And before I take this to liberty, I'm gonna make sure that the second I hop off that he's looking for it and coming in onto that mark. Good boy. And we'll repeat that a few more times. Now that I've done that pretty well on the halter and lead rope, I'm gonna try this at liberty. We're gonna play the exact same game. I'm here in the round pen, so if he runs off, I can go back through all of my steps of liberty to get him back and build the desire to be on the mark at liberty. So I'm gonna send him around. And he has a decent recall cue, so I'm gonna whistle when I step off the mark. Good boy, very nice. Good job. Good. Have him back off. Back off, it's mine now, thank you. And off the other direction. Good boy. Very good, Utah. Good job. And once I feel like this is pretty solid, I'm going to work on sending him to the mark. All right, the final step of teaching mark training is going to be sending the horse to the mark. We're going to do this in small increments. So the first time we send him off, I don't want to send him very far. And the way I'm going to do this is I am going to have him on a halter. I have my carriage whip. And I want him to be facing the mark before I let him go. So make sure he's facing the mark. When I let him go, send him off with my carriage whip. Good. Very good, bud. And then over time, we're going to create some more distance. So we'll go ahead and do it again. Halter him up. There we go. Grab my carriage whip. I'm going to back him off. Over time, he's going to learn that when this halter comes off, that he's going to run straight to the mark. And eventually, I can make that mark me. So he'll run straight to me instead of just running to a mark. Good. Make sure he's facing the mark. Set him up for success here. Make sure that I'm all coordinated. Very good, bud. Very good. And over time, like I said, we can build distance up to the point where Dan James set the world record for sending a horse to a mark at an entire mile, which is pretty incredible. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.